And surely now that's it. The final 10 seconds of the game. Neto. Adama Traore. It's over. Manchester United have lost for the first time this season. The unbeaten season is over. And Bayern Munich have eliminated the champions of Europe. They are down at the semi-finals as their season continues to plummet. The 2020 to 2021 season is all over, and Manchester United have won the game, but they lose the league by a measure of 3 points against Liverpool. We went down to the final day. Manchester United will leave the season as Carabao Cup winners, beating Liverpool in that final.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Football returns to the channel for the first time since the 2020 to 21 season, and a lot has changed in that time as we enter the FC era, and a legend becomes a commentator, which in itself forms an all-new schedule. All will be revealed next. After a 3-year hiatus from the channel, football is set to return for the 24-25 season. And a lot has changed in those intervening years, so let's bring you up to speed. First is the game itself, as following FIFA 23, EA Sports lost the FIFA license and thus became EA FC from 24 onwards. Thankfully, however, most of the game has remained intact, save for 4 Serie A sides and the loss of the Allianz Arena and Camp Nou stadiums. Due to the sudden downfall of the eFootball series, however, our coverage has returned to FC exclusively and for the foreseeable future. The best part of this new deal is the addition to play in many other cup finals, meaning for the first time since FIFA 14, our coverage will begin with the FA Community Shield between the Premier League winners Manchester City and the FA Cup winners Manchester United, followed later that night by the UEFA Super Cup clash between Real Madrid and Atlanta. And of course, the start of a 24-5 Premier League season. But who will be the exclusive team? Manchester United legend Aaron Henry retired at the conclusion of the 2020-21 season at 33, after initially overturning his original retirement during the Super League saga. Aaron of course stated that the lockdowns had knocked a lot out of him mentally, and the Super League saga caused him to lose all of the love he once had for football. Thankfully, however, for him, he did manage to finally surpass Ryan Giggs' appearance record in his final game in the Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich, in which he scored a penalty in an eventual loss. The significance of this was his everlasting passion for sports commentary. After his playing career, he relaunched his YouTube channel, assuming the commentator role for the last 3 Formula 1 games, telling a story over a fictional driver, Aiden Jackson. And last year, in an incredibly rare interview by his standards, expressed interest in a return to football in a similar role. After approaching him for this season and asking what team he'd like to follow, his answer came as a surprise. To avoid bias, he decided against his boyhood club Manchester United, with whom he played his entire career for, and those facts certainly ruled him out of City and Liverpool. He picked Arsenal of all teams, but he did pick United to follow in the Women's Super League season, which we will be covering for the first time ever. So if you're keeping count at home, that's the FA Community Shield, the Super Cup, Arsenal's league season, Manchester United's Women's Super League season, and all other domestic finals. And if needed, a special final day decider in our biggest coverage season so far. And onto the teams themselves, nothing new has changed at Manchester City, say a couple of signings. They are still the juggernaut to beat under the helm of Pep Guardiola. And they're going to be followed closely by Arsenal this season, whose response to a final day loss of the league as them signing Ricardo Calavori and Mika Moreno and causing an even bigger splash by acquiring Raheem Sterling on loan from Chelsea. Speaking of which, they've chosen their replacement for Mauricio Pochettino in the form of Enzo Maranza, while Liverpool have replaced Jurgen Klopp with Erne Slot. Bizarrely, however, despite numerous reports to the contrary at the FA Cup final, Erik ten Hag has been retained by Manchester United, with sources reporting that an open letter that was delivered by the fans requested him to be kept. And not only that, but the squad has had one of the biggest reinforcements in years, with Matis Gilagit, Nozua Mwanzi, Manuel Ugarte, Lenny Yaro and Joshua Zirkzee joining the many signings that were made last season, of course including the Mason Mount and new goalkeeper Andre Onana.